Hello everybody, and today is Tuesday, April 15th. Welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I now put in my 2 cents about movies. Now, yeah, I know I've been kind of busy. I'll tell you about that in another video sometime, but as you can see, there's maybe another light source from over there, and that's because I opened the window because it's so damn nice out today. Just to tell you, I watched a few movies. I watched a ton of movies. Some of them are old. I won't really be talking about those today. One of the older ones, it's still pretty new, but it's called Clayton. I'd like to talk about CharlieWilsonWar, and Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, which I'm pretty sure CharlieWilsonWar comes out today. And also, I'll probably just go a quick brief thing into Juno, because I watched it a couple more times on DVD. But anyway, so let's just start with Clayton. Now, this movie I just watched yesterday, actually. I hadn't watched it for a while. I heard that it was kind of long and slow, but that it was very good. So I pretty much decided to watch it. It's a thriller suspense drama about a lawyer, pretty much, played by George Clooney. And basically, he's hired as this lawyer to help clean things up, as in, he cleans up really tough issues to deal with in terms of, cases and settlements and people involved in certain cases and whatever. So he's hired to deal with this guy who has this strange lawsuit against him from a lot of people, basically dealing with relationships and or maybe, sexual related things. But they didn't really get too deep into that particular thing. However, they basically had him investigating this guy, which led to other things. I won't specify, only because it's kind of vague, I know, but it leads to bigger things that he discovers and he has to try and clean up. So, needless to say, I felt that this movie was very slow-paced, but that, each step of the way is very good. It takes a little bit from, showing you different points of time at a time, so it'll jump between here and there, and you'll try to connect them later. So I like films like that, although it's starting to get to the point where I see a lot of them done. The reason why I say this is because a few of the movies that I've watched recently have all done that. So Clayton, I liked it a lot. That was very good, except a little bit slow. So if you don't really like really slow movies, it's but it's very well done. Great acting, good storytelling. I don't think it's anything extraordinary. It's just good. It's just plain good. Alright, next up, Charlie Wilson's War. Now, this is an interesting movie. Apparently based on a true story, I think. And stars Tom Hanks as Charlie Wilson, who is the senator of Texas that actually has some sort of control over some, covert military, or not military, but intelligence operations going on. And he pretty much just takes control, uses his charm to do things, woo women, and all that fun stuff. But the reason why it's called Charlie Wilson's War is that he's fighting on multiple fronts. He's a politician. He has control of operations, which basically relate directly back to military operations. And, you can play off those words, war a few more times, relationships, all that fun stuff. And he's got quite a few things going on here. Needless to say, this movie was also slow, but it was very good as well. So, I don't really know. There's really nothing bad to say about it. I'm actually a huge fan of movies that are based on true stories, especially when they're done very well. So, like, American Gangster was a good example. But Charlie Wilson's War, spot on, pretty well done, great acting, great storytelling. You get to see Julia Roberts as a blonde, which was actually surprising, but she didn't look too bad. So, then again, she doesn't look too bad, usually otherwise. But anyway, she's too old for me. So yeah, that's Charlie Wilson's War. I didn't really think it was that deep as far. It was just kind of like presenting events to you about what happened, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and these things are implicated in that thing, and how he settled this debate. But when you find the resolution of the actual event, and the eventual repercussions, it's just kind of like, oh, he did great things, and then you see the long distance in the future epilogue, or basically what happens, and it's kind of depressing, what ends up really happening. And you have to really give Charlie, the real Charlie Wilson, props for that, because, oh man, it's tough stuff. Tough stuff. Anyway, So, Charlie Wilson's War. Thumbs up. Liked it a lot. Also kind of slow. So there's really nothing else I can tell you about that. So, alright. Last, as far as new movies are concerned, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Now, this is one of those movies where a lot of people didn't really know exactly what was going on, but they know that the rough plot is like a jewelry store robbery, and the jewelry store is actually run by a mom and pop. So it's mom and pop jewelry store. And when I started watching the movie, you immediately find out, like probably in the first 15 minutes, when it jumps back a couple times, that it's one of those movies similar to like Vantage Point and Pulp Fiction. It shows you the views of certain characters at a specific time, but withholding information to you until you see a different person's view and you get a wider view and you see more information. Now, out of the 3 movies that I've watched, like that I just reviewed, including this one, I want to say this one is probably the best one. I like this one the most. Oddly enough, it itself is also very slow. It's not very slow. It's just kind of slow, but it's very well done. Editing is very good. Pacing is decent for being a slow movie. Obviously, it's very dramatic, but it's much more entertaining than I feel that the other 2 are. And it has a great cast. I mean, there's Philip Seymour Hoffman, Ethan Hawke, Marissa Tomei, which oddly enough I did some research and because I saw you see Marissa Tomei, a little bit scantily clad or naked, but she hasn't done too many of those roles before as far as big Hollywood movies are concerned. So this is probably one of the more bigger titles that people are talking about. But anyway, so rough premise: this guy plots to rob a mom and pop jewelry store. So the tagline, or not the tagline, but like the advertisement for this movie basically runs as though it's like, oh hey, this crime goes extraordinarily wrong. But when I read like the back of the cover, it was like, well, these events that gone wrong, it pretty much ripples outward from the event and how it went wrong to all the people involved, and it's so ridiculous what ends up happening in the movie. And I thought it was very good. It's very well done, and the ending is very it leaves a lot open to be desired as far as like emotional resolution, but the way that it ends, it's just so satisfying because there is a resolution, and I'm just not sure if it's what a Hollywood audience would like, but I thought it's very true to the feel of the story. So I definitely enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Big thumbs up. And if you don't like thinking movies, don't watch it though. So if you like thinking movies, don't watch Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Alright, oh yeah, and I briefly wanted to go over Juno really quick. I'd watched Juno in theater, thought it was great way back in the day. I even reviewed it. Revisiting it now after I watched it on DVD a couple more times because everybody loves it, everybody wanted to see it again, and so I ended up watching a total of 3 times so far. But anyway, it's a really good movie. I like the dialogue, I like the acting, I like the delivery. Ellen Page just has this amazing charm about her in the movie. I mean, I'm sure it's her character, but she has to deliver it well too. So definitely liked it a lot. Definitely recommend Juno again. And it's just very funny. Yeah, it's great. And character development, there's some misleading there, but it's... Anyway, I don't even know what else to say. Juno's just a great movie. So the thing what makes this part unique is I also watched the deleted scenes and the gag reel. There's really nothing too great in the gag reel. It's just a few funny things. But all the deleted scenes, some of them were pretty good. Most of them were decent cuts, though, so I admit. There was this one scene that I really wish they kept in the movie because it was so hilarious. It's the first deleted scene on the DVD, and it's pretty much Juno standing outside in front of the chair, that you see at the beginning, and then the old lady wheels by, and the dialogue that just goes on through them. I mean, the best line, I'm not even going to tell you because it's a spoiler, but the best line starts off with, God loves all the colors of the rainbow. and when you hear basically all the dialogue surrounding that and the context, like, before it's nice setup, but then after it's like, oh my god, that's so dumb. But it was hilarious, or at least I burst out laughing with my roommates, so it was great. Anyway, needless to say, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully I'll get some more up soon because I watched a bunch of old movies. So Anyway, have a nice night and enjoy the movies.